Hey all, I've been asked a couple of times if I could just do a full walkthrough video on how to get started with vibeSpot, setting it up for the first time, then running the first generation and then deploying that to HubSpot. So this is going to be a long video. I'll put some timestamps in so you can see what happens when. But yeah, let's get started. So first of all, we need to check if we have Node.js installed. And we do this by going to the terminal, which we are all very comfortable using now thanks to Claude, and enter node -v. So this will check which kind of version we have installed of Node.js on our machine. Mine is 22, which is old, but it will work. Why do we do this? Just to check if we have Node installed. So if we get a version back, then we have it. If we don't, we need to install it, right? So it will probably tell you something like command not found node or something. So you go to nodejs.org and install Node.js. If you're running Claude code and if you've been running it for some time, it's very likely that you already have it because it used to be shipped on Node as well. All right, so if we have Node installed, we can then just enter npx vibeSpot, which is the command that lets you execute Node packages directly from the Node packet manager, which is not entirely true because the next thing it will ask us is if we want to download that and install. And yeah, so what this does is it does the download and installation, everything, manages it for us by just running this one command, which is quite useful. In the documentation, you can find the guidance on how you can manually install it as well. So yes, it's okay to proceed. And now it will start the system already, or the browser window immediately, as you've probably seen under here. One more thing though, it will not ask you again if the version stays the same. If we stay on 1.6.4 forever, vibeSpot will always automatically just start when you enter npx vibeSpot. It will not download again, will not install again. It will just start what it's got on your machine. If an update comes in, so if we go to 1.65, 2.0 or something like that, then it will always ask you if you want to download it again and so on and so forth. So the same dialog will appear. Don't be put off by that. That's normal. All right, so let's switch over to vibeSpot and see what we can do here. So the first thing that vibeSpot needs from us is an AI engine. And what we'll need to do is we have Claude installed. So we want to work with Claude Code today because this doesn't cost us like individual tokens. We can just work with the subscription we have. So we don't use an Anthropic, OpenAI, or Gemini API key. We'll just go to the settings like it tells us here at the top. And normally it will show you which AI engines we have available. Currently there's none because we haven't activated Claude Code yet. And so we'll have to scroll to the bottom here, pass the API keys all the way to the CLI tools and turn on Claude Code. Now it will tell us it's not installed, but it is installed. And this is because it needs to rescan the system to find the installation. So why is it this horrible user experience? It used to be the way that it used to, every time you open the settings, check for all of the CLIs that could be used for this. And this takes a long time, right? So if it doesn't find them, it crashes out, all of this stuff. So I decided to make the decision to have the settings dialog open instantly, but you have to click this rescan. The other thing that it automatically scans when you work with, when you open the settings, or used to automatically scan, was which models were available on the chosen engine. This can, if there's an update now, so Opus 4.8 just came out, if you want to see that in the dropdown as well, you have to click rescan here as well. So no more auto-populating during the settings menu, therefore it doesn't take 1 or 2 seconds to open it. All right, so now we've connected Claude Code, it's found that it's already installed. So we scroll all the way to the top and select Claude Code as our engine. We can leave Claude Sonnet as the model, or we can change to Opus. You can try whatever you want. I've put benchmarks with all of the different models because the outputs are very, very different when it comes to sophistication between all of them. So Opus producing very highly polished pages. Sonnet is like the middle ground, and Haiku is really fast, but produces mediocre, I would say, content. It's okay if you want to do most of the post-processing yourself anyway, like the design work and everything, just need to scaffold, then Haiku is your friend, but otherwise I would probably stick with Sonnet and Opus. And while we're still on the subscription, it's not going to cost us our house to build that. You can find all of the model costs on the benchmark page as well. I think an Opus generation was around $5, a Sonnet generation around $1, and then the Heiko generation was 30 cents or something like that. All right, the other thing that we want to activate in the settings is also the agentic pipeline. This is something that we'll see when we run the first generation. All right, so the other things that we can set up in the settings are HubSpot, but we'll do that later. We can set up Figma if we want to work with like imported Figma designs. We can set up GitHub to pull in data from Lovable, for example, and we have like the vibeSpot version, all of this information that you might want to share with us if you have issues. All right, so let's close this and click on skip for now because we're not setting this up in this way. So this is the main page within vibeSpot. You will not see this anymore at the top in the beginning because an AI engine has been configured. We'll pick that up after we've done the first generation. So today we want to start with the landing page, but you can also create email templates, websites. Difference between landing page and websites, it's like a multi-page thing where you have like a menu to navigate between these individual pages. You can create blog designs. You can start from a template. So we have like a couple of pre-made templates that you might want to work with. And you can import. You can import from HubSpot. So if you have a theme on your portal already that you want to maybe refine or add some modules to, you can pull that in. You can pull in Figma designs to build HubSpot pages, or like I said, the Lovable V0, Replit, whatever React products that you have. Just pull them in and work with those. All right, so let's start with the landing page. I'll enter a prompt like, we are a cat walking business since dog walking is what everyone's doing. Always give a bit of flavor, right? So we are branching into Hamburg and need a sign-up page. Urban cats are bored out of their minds and need fresh air. We get them out. Decoy mouse included. All right, now let's click build and see what happens. So this takes us directly to the vibeSpot editor. A couple of things that we see here. First of all, this is the chat pane on the left, and then we have the preview pane on the right. And the chat pane now has started the agentic pipeline that we've just activated in the settings. Why agentic pipeline? It used to be a one-shot thing. Now we have 4 different agents that have multiple different jobs to work on our prompt and our page. So the first one is the intent analyzer, right? So this one checks, okay, what does the user want? Do they want to create a new page? Do they want to update an old page? Do they want to change a module? Do they want to generate an individual module? Or do they want to generate an email, blog post, web page, and so on and so forth, right? So this thing looks that the context that it's working in, the entire pipeline is set. Then the next one is the design manager here. All of these names are cut off because I'm zoomed in so you can see on the video. The design manager looks at 2 things. One is, depending on the context, what kind of page am I building? What kind of modules do we need, right? So do we need like a nav bar, a hero, a footer? He checks the library. What other modules are already available that we've generated in other landing pages? Can we reuse some of them? So he creates like the scaffold structure that the page lives in. And then the second thing he checks is, is any design instruction already available? Do we have any brand information? Like, is there a brand voice, a style guide already uploaded? Do we have some product context beyond what's been put in the prompt that we can use to generate a design system that fits the narrative that we're looking at, right? So colors, fonts, structure, all of this stuff is what the design manager builds, right? So that it tells the pipeline after it, what are we building, how many, what is it supposed to look like? And then the next agent in the pipeline is the builder agent. And I say but we'll have multiple, right? So the intent analyzer will tell us, okay, what kind of page are we building? The design manager tells us, okay, so what does this page look like? And then the builder spins up like 7, 8, 9 different agents running in parallel, each one building their module on their own. So you don't need to go through like the generation of the page code one after another, just line by line. So it just because every module now exactly knows what it's supposed to look like, what it's supposed to contain, it will automatically be generated, and all of them will be generated in parallel. And then the last agent in the pipeline is the quality assurance agent. So he runs through the generated modules and picks up any obvious errors. Sometimes some errors still break through. We probably might see one coming in, but we can fix it using the chat as well. But the quality assurance is supposed to look like, okay, so are all the Hubble tags closed? Is everything fine here? All right, so the generation takes between 5 and 6 minutes, so we're already at 3. We can come back to that in a second. We can have a look at the interface a little bit more. So at the very top, we have the context of the theme that we're currently in. So if we click on brand, for example, we can see that we haven't provided it any brand information yet. So it's just working off the cuff, right? So it come up with their own logo, with their own colors and everything. But we can define this here in one way by just setting it, or we can import a style guide. So if we have like a markdown file, a text file, a PDF that contains our CI, we can just upload it here and it will fill out the brand information and use it as context for the future generations. Same thing for brand voice, we can upload that and product context, right? So if we create like, if we have product context, or let's say we are like a catwalking company, for example, we can upload a document describing our value proposition and everything, so that if we tell it to, hey, we need a webinar sign up page, it knows, okay, it's a webinar sign up page for a catwalking business with these and these properties. So this is all the stuff that we can upload here. We also have like this extract button. So if you're running like a demo for a customer, for example, or I run a lot of demos, you can just extract all of this stuff, style guide, brand voice, product context, from the first generation that you've made. So this automatically populates then with all of the information coming from this page that has been built here. So that's the brand tab. We also have a library tab. The library tab contains all of the project assets that you have. You can also create new pages and emails from here. But once we've generated our landing page, it will show up here, and it also contains the module library. So we have all of the modules that have been generated on landing pages that we're working with pop up in the module library, and we can preview them here. This has the benefit that if you have like multiple landing pages with different modules, you can look at them, and then you can manually import individual modules into landing pages as well. So this is where you can look at them, and then on the pages tab, you can add them to the library. All right, so then we have the marketplace tab. The marketplace tab is a validation run that checks if your theme is ready to be published on the HubSpot marketplace. You can do this here. So if you're planning on monetizing themes that you generate with vibeSpot, or in general, you can just run this validation and verification here, and we'll tell you if you're ready to ship. And then we also have the settings up here, which is redundant with the tiny cogwheel at the bottom left that we've used earlier, which I probably didn't explain. So if you click on this, it will just open up the settings menu again. All right, so what we see is it started working on the landing page. It's put in 2 modules already because they were finished, the problem section and how it works, and now it's starting to put together the web page for us. So the hero section is still working, as is the pricing and packages, the sign up and the footer, but these 4 or 5 sections have been finished already. So this is the builder pipeline, as you see. So it will one after another generate all of these modules for us to then use. We can see them pop up one after another in the preview pane as well, or in the library pane, and can see these individual modules and can preview them here. We can also delete them, but let's not do that while we're generating a page. All right, this is probably why it took a little bit longer as well, 6 minutes. we have a full 9 modules. All right, so this is what it looks like. Cardio that counts, the decoy mouse as a signature benefit. We have some animations. What we'll see is we have these placeholder pictures. What this means is that if you upload this page to HubSpot, you can replace these with images coming in from your actual media library, but we can look at this in HubSpot then. It's decided for an interesting cuts and gang. Okay. All right, so we're finished. 449 seconds. What does this mean in human readable time? 7.5 minutes. Let's have a look at the page first. So we can see we have a hero section, 2 CTAs. We have like an image that we can then replace in Hamburg. In HubSpot. We can scroll down, have like this Y section. We have the how it works section. It's decided on this serif font and these green and cream colors. Don't ask our word for it. It's a social proof section. We have the pricing. We have an FAQ that has been populated already. And we have the CTA section. So this page looks good, at least for me. We can see if we have any upload errors that we can fix then. But let's look at what we can do now in the editor after the generation has been completed. So the first thing that comes to mind or pops into the eye is this extraction dialog. What this does is it allows us to extract what I said earlier, like the brand voice, style guide, all of this stuff. We can just click extract. It will automatically start extracting this and fill in the brand colors based on this generation. So what else do we have here? At the top, we had the tabs to navigate the current theme. And then below that, we have this preview, which is what we're currently looking at. We have the option to click on split, where we have the same code that we would see in the design manager alongside the current preview. We can also just click on code and then look at the individual modules and work on them. If you change the code, there's a save button at the top right here. Click that before leaving the code, otherwise the changes won't take effect. So let's go back to preview. You've seen it probably in the split view already, but this is fully responsive. We can also do a responsive preview by clicking the buttons at the top here. So we have the desktop preview. Now we have this tablet, wider screen, bigger screen preview, and then we also have the phone version that we want. We can scroll through that and see if it works for us, or if we need any updating. We can just tell it this then. So let's go back to the desktop view, and then we have this interact button at the right here. So if we click that, we can start interacting with objects on the page. So one thing is, and this is when this orange tab at the top appears, is we can click, and what happens is in the chat, we get a reference to the section that we're in. So if we want to make changes or updates to that, it will put this in, and then we can just tell the system what we want to do. The other thing that we can do with the interact button is we can click and add an image, for example. So if we have a URL, we can use this as a preview to live in here. We have the option to click on text and edit it manually. So this is the interaction mode. So there's also the option to not using interact mode and click on these colors that pop up, as well as the images, where you can just modify content within these modules on the fly as well. So this is just for preview and for playing around. So if you want to just update all of this after you've uploaded it to HubSpot, you can do this in the Hubble as well. So talking about Hubble, the modules that we see here, we can manage them as well. So it's not very obvious, but it's here. So this button at the top left here with these 4 squares, this takes you to the modules overview. So we can see all of the modules that we've generated by just clicking on one. The editor or the preview will take it directly to the module. We can change the sequence of the module. So if we go to the top and change the hero section with the problem section, suddenly the problem section is above the hero section, which doesn't make sense. So let's change that back. So change sequence of modules, directly scroll to modules, and then there are 2 buttons here. One is an X that lets you delete the current module. So let's click on that. it will ask us if we want to remove social proof just from the page or from the entire theme, right? Because we know that the modules are living in the library as well to be reused in other pages. So we can tell, okay, no, delete it entirely. And then it will be removed not only from the page, but also from the, also from the entire project. So if we click on remove, now it's gone, no more social proof. And if we've done this by mistake, we can add it back in by clicking the plus here, and that will pull in all of the modules that are not already in the theme, in the page from the library, and we can just re-add it and put it. I don't remember where it was. I think it was just above the pricing section. It might be right. Okay, so what does the other button do? That's not the delete button. That is the config button, and that takes us directly to the preview of the Hubble code. That is what you then can change in HubSpot, right? So this is giving you a preview of what the edit interface will look like in HubSpot. So if you feel, okay, we need more fields or less fields or something like that, you can just tell the chat and it will remove the tags and hard code the field, the code. But yeah, so we can also update it here. So if I enter this is hamburgers, then this will be put into the text here as well. So you can do the Hubble modifications here also as well. And then by clicking on this X next to the plus, I can close the modules preview. All right, so we've built the page. We've learned about code. We've learned about some of the interface options here. What we also have at the top is the deploy button, and this is the thing that takes the theme directly to our HubSpot, which we haven't configured yet. There's also a download button that will allow you to download the theme and import it manually in the design manager. I think the import is in the settings actually. And then on history, you have the option to go back to different iterations. If we would start like a chat here to start making changes in the page and we don't like some, we can use the use the undo function or the history to go back to a specific version of the page that we like. Another thing is the dark mode. If you prefer that, you can change to that or work in light mode, or there's like a colorblind mode as well. And another thing that is important for me at least is this chat bubble. If you click on that, you come to the feedback form. So you can use this to submit bug reports. You can change this to feature requests. So if you have something where you think, hey, I need this in my vibeSpot live, let us know and we'll put it in the product. And then we have the comment, which is also very useful. So if you just want to let us know, hey, we like working with it, or don't, and then probably pretty good to know why, just let us know here as well. All right, so you can enter your email address if you want us to get in touch with you. Otherwise, leave it empty, but feedback is very valuable. All right, so let's click on deploy. So we don't have a HubSpot set up yet. So what this does now is it asks us, hey, you don't have like a HubSpot portal set up already. We need your HubSpot personal access key for you to upload these themes. So if you click on this button, it will directly take you to the account. I want to work with this one. Will directly take you to the personal access key. I'll not click show. I've got this on my in my password manager. I can probably do it like this. And then paste the key here. It will not be shown in plain text. And click on connect. So now it's connected to my Alchemist Consulting HubSpot, and I can click deploy. Now the upload will run through. It's 49 files, and it was successful. Sometimes the upload errors because there are some forbidden names that HubSpot doesn't allow within the code, and the quality assurance didn't catch it. Then there's a tiny button that will appear called Fix This with AI. Just click on it and the AI will start fixing the page, and then after that you can upload it. All right, so this was successful, so we can just click Create Page in HubSpot. So it will directly take us to the portal that we've selected's landing page section, and then we can click Create a landing page, and then we can click the theme. And then we have this, we are catwalking. This is the same theme name that we had here as well. We can change that to catwalk, for example. Should have done that before uploading, but just so you know, double click the theme name and you can change the theme name. Same thing goes for the landing pages. All right, so within the theme, just click on it, set as active theme, and then we have our page in here. So let's click on this, click on edit manually, and now we have the page in HubSpot. And if we click on this, we can see that we have the exact same Hubble content that we had in vibeSpot as well. So if we remove this, this is again to from in front of Hamburg, then we have the same text here. Yeah, so this is how you get your first theme or landing page, website, email draft, whatever you want generated. If you want to add more to the same project, so we can check brand now. It's still not finished extracting. We can add more pages or more emails here by just clicking on it, adding the name. We can do the same here by clicking on the plus next to the modules button and then changing between landing page, website, blog post, email, or just a single module that we want to create. Yeah, but that's it. So one more thing I want to point you to before I leave you with this is the documentation that is also at the bottom left here, this tiny book. And this takes you to the built-in documentation within vibeSpot. So if you ever come across a problem or anything, you can check that. And the same docs are also available on our website. So if you go to vibespot.letsplaywith.tech, and then at the top here, click on docs, we have like this very neat documentation that can work you through things. So, and you can also ask the AI question. So my upload failed. What can I do? And then this chat window will pop up and will give you a very competent answer based on our documentation. All right, so that's creating your very first page in vibeSpot. We've come from nothing and now have something. I think the entire video took just 25 minutes, but the page generation was 7.5 using Sonnet on the Claude Code. Yeah, just experiment with it, play with it. Let me know what you need. We're very happy. A lot of these features are coming from direct user feedback. And yeah, looking forward to hearing yours, and hope you enjoy build some great things using vibeSpot. Have a great day. Bye-bye.